Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I get a lot of comments on my channel, questions about playing the violin or viola or music in general, so I decided to make regular videos answering your questions. First question. Jeremy asks, I play guitar, banjo, mandolin, bass for 26 years. Do you think I have an advantage starting the viola? Is it an awkward transition? I mean, your comment makes it obvious that you will clearly have an advantage. Not only you are playing music for 26 years and probably can read notes already and are familiar with different clefs, but you also play stringed instruments, which the violin is also a stringed instrument. So the only thing you have to learn is to correctly bow and control your intonation completely with the left hand, because we have no frets on the violin. Other than that, your control over your fingers will already kind of be there, and the coordination will also kind of be there, that the left hand places the note and the right hand makes the rhythm and the articulation, basically. Little Mermaid had a similar question. What do you think about learning at higher ages? I'm 25 now. Is it promising to become at least an average player? I had started at 12 and continued 2 years, but now I have forgotten everything. Of course, you can get quite good even if you start at a later age. There are some advantages if you are a grown up compared to if you are very young when you start playing an instrument or learning a new skill in general. And first of all, that's one point of it. You already have learned some skills in your life, I hope. So you already know what it takes to acquire a skill. So you will be more organized and more thoughtful in your practice. That is a big advantage to have. Also, you already have a quite good control over your body, and your body isn't growing up making things more difficult. So your coordination will be better from the start. The downsides are when you start very young and learn and listen to music very young, it gets into your system very deeply. So you know the music your whole life and you have the melodies in your ear your whole life. And that also counts for the movement. Some things you learn very young become more kind of natural and automatic in the later ages. But of course you always have to practice those skills to not deteriorate. But yes, there are some levels of playing you will not reach when you start at a later age. But that doesn't mean you can't become a very much above average player. Especially you said that you had played 2 years when you were 12 years old. So that's quite an advantage too, because at that age the body remembers better and deeper what you learn. Lady Plays asks, my hands are very stiff when trying to vibrate. I can't seem to speed up when doing the exercise. I'm wondering if that's because I tend to crack my knuckles too often. You have a point there. I don't know if cracking your knuckles is a bad thing though. Because let me tell you one story. I was once at a ballet class, a professional ballet ensemble at the opera in my hometown Hanover. The first thing I heard from far away when I approached this training room of them was like cracking of knuckles. When they warm up, it's just like a symphony of cracking of knuckles. I don't think they would do that if it would hurt their body. And I also sometimes crack a knuckle and then it feels like a relief. So I don't think that is the problem. I think the problem, what you are having, is that when something gets stiff, the probability that your muscles are too weak is very high. So weak muscles get stiff very easily. So if you train your fingers very slowly, a lot, and I mean really a lot, like weeks and months of slow training, of course you can always try to speed it up a little bit or vary in tempo or try to change the movement a little bit. Then your fingers develop some muscles and then you can much better get a feeling for the flexibility and the controlled flexibility of the hand. So when you basically start out, you use one muscle to press down the finger. And if you are an, let's say, good player, you can control your finger in close to any position. So you have developed those kind of small muscles and combinations of muscle groups that you need for the vibrato. And that will lead to you having more control over the speed of the vibrato and also the amplitude of the vibrato. Elijah asks, how is your violin not moving when doing vibrato, I guess? So my violin is actually a little bit moving when I do vibrato, and I have to be also careful to not to shake my violin too much. But the key is that you have first a good hold here up at the chin and at the shoulder with a good position of a shoulder rest, a good chin rest that fits you. And the second thing is that some key points have to be relaxed in the left hand. And that is first your thumb, because it's kind of the angle of the whole vibrato movement. So the thumb must be quite relaxed. And also like this movement, those joints, those upper finger joints have to be relaxed also a little bit. You still have to press down the string. So the muscles have to be strong but flexible to move while not shaking your violin too much. Jay asks, when I do vibrate, I can hear a little bit, but majority sounds like I'm not doing it. Help. There can be some things that go wrong when you vibrate and the movement is not transitioned to your fingertip. One thing I often see with very flexible players, mainly female players, that they have the tendency to vibrate a lot from the wrist, but actually moving the wrist and the fingertip doesn't actually move very much. So the movement is here very big, but it doesn't translate to the fingertip. When you vibrate, all that matters is that your fingertip gets a little bit higher and a little bit lower. So my suggestion would be to place your fingers a little bit more flat when you begin the vibrato, so you have a bigger range. Some teachers teach the vibrato movement that you should just go under the pitch. And I don't think that this is correct. And there are also some videos on YouTube now that try to prove that is actually not correct. But about the movement, it is actually quite smart to think about the movement going down, down, down. Because when you go down, your knuckle will flatten a little bit, and then you have a lot of room to move up again. If you are in this position, a very vertical position already on the neck, on the fingerboard, and then when you try to go up, 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 there is not much room. But when you are flat and then go up and flat and then go up, there's much more room for a bigger amplitude, and I think then you will most likely hear something. Try to do it very slowly with a very big movement and try to flatten your finger. Hocus Pocus asks, how to stop the violin from shaking? How to stop the bow from stopping? First question I covered before, how to stop the violin from shaking. Have a good grip at your chin and your shoulder and be flexible in the right points of the left hand. How to stop the bow from stopping when doing vibrato is actually a quite interesting phenomenon. If you see a pupil try to vibrate the first time, you oftentimes see like this. The left arm gets very tense because you want to do this quick movement, which is actually some kind of correct, but the right arm does the same. So my go-to exercise when that happens is try to play 2 notes without vibrato to get the bow moving. Don't play too slowly. Just get the bow moving like this. You can also do more if you like, but without vibrato. So that you feel like it's automatic and very natural. And then you let the bow continue what you did before and add a little bit of vibrato and concentrate a little bit on the vibrato. And let's see if that tricks your body into doing the right movement and your bow not stopping. So that's basically the go-to exercise if that happens. But don't be discouraged if that happens to you, that your bow stops or shakes when you do vibrato. That means that you do something right with the left hand, because the movement of the vibrato is actually a movement that comes from the body and not just from the wrist. If you separate the movement too much, like vibrating here and playing like this here, both of the hands are not so well connected. With most students, I saw that problem, like shaking the bow when trying to vibrate. They will develop a very natural and very good vibrato in very short time. So that's it for today's video. Remember to hit the subscribe button. Please write in the comments if you have some questions about some topics. I will answer them in the next video I do. Subscribe to my channel, leave a like on this video, activate the bell on my channel to get notified when there's a new video up. Have a good day and enjoy practicing. Bye bye.